Coming up on this episode of Up for Debate, it's This or That, Round 3. We answer the toughest either-or questions that came out of Matt's mind. Stick around, it's This or That, and it's coming up next. This is Up for Debate, episode number 89, recorded October 4th, 2017. This or That, Round 3. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Up for Debate, the podcast that Ernest Klein definitely did not like. I'm Sean Jennings, joined as always by Matt or Mariani. It's Matt Mariani. Which is it, Matt? Are you Matt or Mariani?
I plead the fifth. I'm going to go ahead and take option C.
None of the above.
The third choice.
You're going to be Balthazar.
They ask me soup or salad, and I say
both. I'm hungry.
Pizza.
I would pay good money to have you go into an Olive Garden, and when they're like super salad, you're like, I'll have
the pizza.
I'll have a calzone, and they're like, get out.
Now,
of here.
does Olive Garden have pizza?
They do have pizza. That's really no. You have to go in there and order a hamburger. Be like, I'll have the cheeseburger.
Ah, yes, that steak tartare looks lovely.
Because not enough people are dicks at the Olive Garden. That's really what they've been missing.
Yes.
So, how have things been, Matt? Good?
Oh, things have been just great. I'm still living and breathing.
Mm-hmm. Or breathing.
And surviving.
Yeah.
Not living or breathing or surviving. This or that. This and that. And the other thing. How about you, Sean Jennings? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, Matt, we had a gangbusters episode last week. If people didn't listen, we went deep on Ready Player One by Ernest Klein. Really fantastic episode. If you have or have not read the book, you'll probably enjoy it. But Matt, we're doing something special this week. One of our few recurring segments that we do. This is actually the third time we've done This or That. The idea came about. This was originally your idea back in the day. I'd have to look exactly how far back it goes, but probably 2 years ago or so, you had this idea of you just want to ask me a bunch of either or questions just to get my opinion on stuff. And then a little while later, we did this or that round 2 where it was my turn. I asked you a bunch of questions. We've done Super Salad, Shoots or Ladders. Is Will Smith a better actor or a rapper? Would you rather win an Oscar or a World Series? We had a lot of really fun ones, I think, in past episodes on the show. For people who want to go listen to the old ones, they are still available. Episode number 52 is This or That Round 1. And then This or That Round 2 is episode 69. And you can get those right now on our website or at soundcloud.com/upfordebate. But Matt, you've got a bunch of questions. And if you fall short, I've got a few backups as well. We're going to get to some either questions, but this is fun for everyone at home. If you're watching us live on Facebook, you can comment on the Facebook page, facebook.com/upfordebatetv. We're live Wednesday nights at about 8 p.m. And if not, afterwards, you can always give us your opinion on Twitter, at upfordebatetv. Matt, what is our first either or question of the night?
I'm glad you asked, Sean Jennings. Our first either or is simple. Joe Pesci or Robert De Niro?
Neither. I really don't care for either. So that's going to be
that is not an option, I'm afraid.
I actually name a movie Joe Pesci is in.
Goodfellas?
Never saw that.
They're actually both of them are in Goodfellas.
Nah, name another right? Joe Pesci movie. I don't think I've ever seen a Joe Pesci movie.
Right. I think they're both. Joe Pesci is definitely in Goodfellas. Yes, and Robert De Niro is too.
What else would I have seen Joe Pesci in?
Home Alone.
I never saw that. What else?
Oh my God.
I know. I'm trying to think of a Robert De Niro movie I've seen.
Robert De Niro's been in just a ton of movies. I'm
sure
you've seen a movie.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I am pretty sure at least one movie that you've seen had to have at least featured Robert De Niro.
Well, here we go. His The Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never saw that. Raging Bull, never saw that. Cape Fear, never saw that. Oh, Awakenings. I saw Awakenings.
Really? That's the Robert De Niro movie you saw is Awakenings?
And I think I saw I saw Meet the
He's been.
Parents. That was terrible.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So I guess if I have to choose by default, it's Robert De Niro because I've actually seen things he's in.
that
Let's see.
sucked.
Joe
That was
Pesci was in Easy Money,
crappy.
JFK, Lethal Weapons 2
Fuck.
and 3 and 4. Also in Casino, Home Alone and Home Alone 2. Yeah, I haven't seen any of those.
Oh, Casino was the one he was with.
Yes, with De Niro.
Robert De Niro. Mm-hmm. That was
Yep.
a really good movie.
Did you know that Joe Pesci has been retired from acting since 1999?
Yeah, yeah. He hasn't been in many things.
No, he is not. So sorry to blow up your first question. I'm going to choose Robert De Niro. Who are you going to choose, Matt?
I got to go with De Niro, and I think that Joe Pesci would agree with me. Pesci was good though. I think Pesci's got a lot of heart, and being in Home Alone, one of my top movies of all time. Like I think that he holds a special place there, but I got to go with De Niro. The man is a legend, an absolute legend, and continues to be an inspiration. So
I'm trying to not to get off topic here. I'm trying to think of other actors who retired, I don't want to say at the prime of their career, but near the prime of their career and never went back to acting. And the only other person I can think of is Rick Moranis. But I'm just curious if anyone out there has any suggestions, tweet it at us, because I'm just trying to think of any other actors who did that.
that's the only one you can think of that
Other than Joe Pesci, yeah.
retired at the prime of their career.
Or near the prime. Or at least didn't go to, and then never went back.
What about Sean Connery? No, that's not true. He did Finding Forrester.
Well, we'll come back to this.
It's
People
an interesting.
people will let us know.
What about Nick Nolte?
I don't know if he retired as much as went on a drug bender and ended up in rehab. But I guess sort of true. Famous actors who
What about-
retired. 10 most notorious retired actors. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Although no, he's been in the Expendables and stuff. I don't know what they're talking about. That's not true.
Yeah, he did stuff.
Oh, Gene Hackman.
Yeah, Gene Hackman.
Bridget Fonda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they list Sean Connery. So,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
anyhow,
I didn't think Finding Forrester was all that good, but
he's no Joe Pesci, but he'll have to do. All right, what else? What else you got? You got another one?
okay. Next one is about food.
Okay.
Would you take a year's supply? No, scratch that. Not a year's supply. You have to eat Taco Bell every single day for an entire year, or you have to eat. This says from a dumpster. I'm going to change it.
Where are you getting these questions? It's like half made up off the top of your head and half on a sheet?
Taco Bell for an entire year, or you can buy, wherever you buy coffee is double the price.
I'll pay twice as much for coffee.
I don't think you fully understood.
No,
me,
I
right?
definitely didn't. Definitely didn't.
All right, so you have to eat Taco Bell every single day.
For all my meals or just
3
once a
day.
day?
3 meals a day.
Okay, I got that.
Taco Bell.
For a year.
Every day for a year.
Gotcha.
Or whenever you pay for coffee, it's triple the price. It's now triple the price. It was double. It's now triple.
I don't even
That's
get
a pretty tough.
I don't even get coffee out that much. No, oh, is the Taco Bell free?
Yeah, Taco Bell is totally free.
Ooh. No, I'd still go with the more expensive coffee because then I'll just make coffee at home. I won't buy it at the store.
So you would rather pay triple the price for coffee
Yeah, because
than
then
have Taco
I would
Bell
just make coffee at
free?
home. I just wouldn't go to the coffee shop.
You have to. Okay. Okay.
I don't know. What about you, Matt? Would you take the Taco Bell challenge?
I guess I would have to take the Taco Bell every day for a year. I mean, they have a very extensive and wide variety. They have a varied menu. I like
Not
coffee.
3 meals a day for a
I have to
year.
pay triple the price for it.
How long do you think you can go without repeating something on the Taco Bell menu? 3 weeks, maybe?
Well, if you're eating three square meals, I don't think you'd make it past week 2.
Oh my god, that'd be.
Without having to repeat.
But like, where do you get coffee? What's your coffee
A
shop?
year is a long time. A year is a long time. It's true.
Matt, where's your usual coffee shop?
I gotta go with. Oh, sorry. I still gotta go with the coffee. I mean, with the Taco Bell, because my typical coffee go to. I go local. I go to some local shops, some real
Whoa.
indie, some real like under
Whoa.
real radar places, where I know everybody by name and they know me by name, and we, read books and talk about our plots to overthrow the government. Like some real indie.
You're not supposed to.
underground.
You're not supposed to say that out loud, Matt.
Okay, that's like the real indie scene is what I'm part of. So, I also like Starbucks. So
But see, that's more
either
expensive.
one of the other.
If you're tripling a Starbucks coffee, I go to Dunkin'. It's a $2 coffee. If I'm paying $6 for it, not the end of the world. Your coffee starts at $6.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Matt, I don't think we talked about this. I had my first ever pour over coffee.
Oh, that's exciting.
And
What'd you think?
even better, I didn't, because I know you're not, I didn't put anything in it. No sugar, no cream, no milk. No, and you're talking to the guy who like chugs French vanilla creamer. I drank just a cup of damn coffee.
Wow. So were you threatened in doing this, or did somebody make a bet with you?
I was feeling bold. I went to a local, like a legit local coffee. They had like options of like you can get Colombian or Ethiopian. Like they were really into coffee, and they had the pour over option. I'm like, I'm feeling into it today. Let's do it. I want to just say I did it, and they made me a pour over coffee.
It's living dangerously, man.
It is, and I gotta say, Matt, I kind of liked it.
You kind of like. All right, okay. I want to take a break from this or that for a minute. Screw the audience at home. I need to know some details here about this coffee experience. All right, number one, I want to talk gear.
Okay.
What kind of gear did you make this coffee with? Was it a Chemex?
It was a Chemex.
You said it was pour over.
Yeah, it was Chemex style. I don't think it was like literally a Chemex, but it was like in the vein of Chemex.
Okay. What kind of beans? What kind of roast?
It was an Ethiopian bean.
Ethiopian blend. Okay.
Yeah. Had those sort of they had like honey notes to it. It had a little chocolate note to it, a little bit of a blackberry note to it. It was very, very, very complex. It was a complex bean.
I'm very fond of Ethiopian coffee. I've grown very fond of Ethiopian. Ergchefe, Ergchefe. It's hard to pronounce.
Gesundheit.
The word, yeah. That's one of my favorite. It's got like real berries, like real like a berry, almost like a fruity notes to it.
Well,
the one that I had very hints of blueberry in it. Very good.
That's what really impressed me. Was this is the first time ever in my entire life I actually like tasted stuff in coffee other than coffee. Like it was an eye-opening experience because coffee tastes like coffee. It's always tasted like coffee, but this tasted like coffee, and I could tell different flavors in the coffee. Yeah. My mind was blown.
There's a whole world out there with coffee. Over the summer, I dabbled in coffee making a little bit. Bought myself a French press. and tried to get a little fancy with it. Experimented with different blends, and um, there's so much. There's so much to coffee. You can just read books for days and days. Coffee is amazing, though.
Well,
It's really like the gift from the gods.
I am
So
super impressed. I could not drink it. I could not drink pour over every day. I could not. It would kill me. I could not do it. And I give a lot of props to people who do. That is in the same way I could not drink a high-end craft IPA every day. I couldn't do it. It's too much, and it's aggressive, and no. But as a nice once-in-a-while treat, I think I'm going to try pour over again. So,
yeah, I think that's a pretty fair comparison. Pour over coffee and IPA.
yeah, most of the time a Bud Light will get you where you need to go, or a Sam Adams, something a little more mild. And my Folgers K-Cups do that. But, I also see the value in a more sort of complex, artsy, thought-out food experience in pour over coffee. It was great. It was very cool.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun. It's a fun art form. I think that my Christmas list this year is going to be filled with all kinds of coffee things, coffee tools, coffee
Yeah,
gear.
do you grind your own?
Accessories. Yes, I do. I do. I grind my own, but I have a really cheap electric grinder, and I would like to get my hands on a like a hand crank. So that's on my list for sure.
Nice.
My French press isn't really the one I just bought over the summer. It was very cheap and it's very small. It only makes one cup at a time, and it's kind of annoying because I want to make more. So I want to get a little. I haven't decided if I want to get like a bigger French press or go for the pour over route, because I haven't explored pour over at all, and I feel like I'm really missing out. I kind of want to just go. It's like this whole big world is in front of me, and I want to like get to every corner of it.
Yeah, we definitely should put something on the calendar. Get Dan Miller on here to talk coffee, because he's a big pour over guy. He's got all the experience in all the different options when it comes to Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I don't know. Can you hear the planes? I live within a reasonable distance of no. Oh no, they're not in my head. I live within a reasonable distance of like it's like an Air Force base, and they do flyovers tonight. Are we under attack or something? My God, it's like every 5 minutes, and and they're like the huge cargo planes. I don't know if they train them here or something, but they're always circling, and it's that.
They might have heard my joke about overthrowing the government.
Yeah. Not the kind of thing you want to say out loud on the internet where people are listening. But anyway.
It's a joke. I just like good coffee, and I like going to these underground coffee places where we make underground coffee. Not like coffee underground, but you get the gist of what I'm saying.
Right. We should continue on with this or that.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, we'll continue with this or that. We got to get Dan Miller on here. He could bring his trumpet. We could jam a little bit. We could like really like kind of have a jam sesh. Would be great.
Okay.
So, moving on.
Yes.
With this or that. Okay. This one is a housekeeping and chores category question.
All right.
All right. This or that. Doing the dishes or cooking the food.
Is it weird that I like both?
Yes. Yes, that's very weird.
I actually do but I used to be a dishes guy, and then I became a cooking guy, but I've sort of gotten in this. I cooked dinner tonight, actually. I made a ragu, not from the jar, but an actual ragu. And I've learned that if while you're cooking, you're efficient about how clean you are, and you clean up while you're cooking, and you get into a rhythm of doing things, it's really not that bad. I don't mind doing both. I guess if I had to choose, I would choose cooking. But I guess for me, in this sort of either or comparison, the hard part about cooking is the prep. The prep is, if it's like a workload issue, the actual act of cooking I don't think is very difficult. It's the prep that takes for the chopping and the slicing and the shaving and the grinding and whatever you're doing with the food. If you can throw the grocery shopping in there with it, that's where the time comes in. I would probably choose that over doing the dishes, but I guess both is okay. If you have a dishwasher, dishes really aren't that hard. Although I did run into the problem where I have a ton of nonstick stuff and none of it can go in the dishwasher. It's all hand wash only. Do you have that problem? Maybe not. Maybe I'm the only one.
No, with some things, I would say approximately 5% of my dishes and cookware is non-dishwasher friendly. Maybe as high as 10%. Most of my stuff can go in the dishwasher for sure, but there are some annoying things that have to be hand washed, and I am so not a big fan of that. I would choose cooking every time over dishes. I hate dishes. Hate doing dishes. I totally 100% agree with you though. If you do the dishes while you're cooking, it makes it so much easier in the end. But with the hand wash stuff, sometimes you can't get to it while you're cooking food. And so, by the way, just a quick side note, as I was saying that I agreed with you on dishes are really annoying. If anybody were to ever take like snippets of our Up for Debate episodes and take every time either me or you said the words "I agree with you" and then play it like in a loop, like it would be a lot, especially because our show is called Up for Debate. We're supposed to be debating.
I've always had an issue. People ask about the podcast when I tell them it's like a hobby thing that I do, and what's it about? And I always say, don't panic. It's about, we talk about the technology news, and we do that every week with what's the news stories. Oh, that's cool. And I do the show Up for Debate, and I can never describe what it is because we don't really have a theme. We don't really do the same things every week. It's just two guys talking about stuff.
The topic is up for debate,
and people don't get it. But now, Matt, you've given me a great tagline: Up for Debate, a show about two guys who agree on everything. That's a hook. That's a hook. People, because they're used to people disagreeing. No, two guys.
But we don't agree about everything. Just
it's like
a lot
85%.
Yeah.
Have we disagreed tonight so far in our few this or that's?
We've only had 3 this or that so far, and
because we both chose De Niro and doing the dishes, or not doing the dishes.
No, I chose cooking. Yeah,
we both chose cooking. We come on, we got to come up with something we disagree on.
No, we disagreed with the Taco Bell coffee. You said you would pay extra for coffee. I would take the Taco Bell.
You know, Matt, we're just such different people, you and I.
Mm-hmm.
How do we ever get along?
Right.
Yes.
Moving right along. Okay.
Do you want me to jump in with one, or you're welcome to keep going?
I think I can do one more. All
okay.
Right.
I'm ready.
Your taste buds have dramatically changed.
Oh, how?
You can either taste.
How did they change? I want a backstory.
Because Sean, all right, you were involved in some kind of radioactive accident.
Oh no!
Instead of getting superpowers, your taste buds just like drastically changed.
Wow.
You can either only taste sour. That's the only taste you can taste from now on is sour. Or the only taste is umami.
I was worried you were going to say sweet, because sweet is that would be dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you'd only ever eat sweets.
We could change sweet.
No, because I think umami sour is a little harder. To be honest.
Are you aware you know what umami is, right?
I do. The savory taste.
Savory or earthy is how it's usually described.
A lot of meats and sort of.
Mushrooms is a great example of umami.
Yes, indeed.
Taste.
If I had to, I would go with umami. I think. Well, okay. Here's the thing, right? If you're assuming you can only taste one taste, does that mean you lean towards foods that have that taste so you can taste it?
No.
Or is it the other way?
And from now on, anything that has a distinct taste, anything that is not bland, either tastes extremely sour or umami.
Oh, so this is just about making your life more miserable. Oh, okay.
Which one would make your life less miserable?
Oh, okay. So everything's got taste umami. That's because for 2 reasons. One, sour is, I would argue, in most measurements, an unpleasant taste. And B, umami is the best taste. So for me, that's a slam dunk right there. Is
Okay.
I think I read once umame is like the taste that like activates the pleasure centers in your brain the most or something like that. Like people dig on umame.
Is that true?
I don't know if that's true.
So?
I think I read that, but maybe I
All
didn't.
right. Um, I'm gonna go with sour on this one. I'll go
Okay.
with sour because as miserable as sour is, to have like that, you're gonna eat ice
Well,
cream.
that was my
All right,
problem with
ice cream
sweet.
is gonna taste extremely umami.
Yeah.
That would be so gross. With the temperature and
No.
texture of ice cream tasting like savory, ew,
Yeah, but
it's
that's
disgusting.
no. I
Um,
don't think that.
the ice cream, having ice cream and having it taste overwhelmingly sour, that's not much different than eating your sherbet or your like Italian ices that are sour, things like that, like
Yeah,
lemon flavored ice.
but what happens when you eat a piece of chocolate cake and it tastes sour? That's gonna bum you out.
No, not necessarily,
Versus
because it
that
won't taste
rich
sweet.
umame taste.
No, in that case,
I
I
will
think I'd
argue
stay
though.
away
See, I'm
from
going to argue both sides here. The advantageous part of sour is if you're trying to lose weight, you're going to eat less. I would say,
it. Right.
it's a
True.
deterrent. They have that the paste you put on your tongue that makes everything taste bad, so you eat less. Like that's a weight loss thing. I don't know who people do that. It's kind of like that. And so you're gonna gravitate towards bland foods, maybe traditionally more healthy foods.
Hmm. All right, let's go to the other route. Okay, everything either tastes extremely sweet or extremely bitter.
I mean, I guess you got to go with.
Careful.
I'm just not a glutton for punishment. I don't like to be tortured. I'd go with sweet, but I'm not happy about it. Because I'm gonna want to eat
I have
more.
a theory,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna expand it upon it a little bit here. All right, I've wanted to kind of get this out for a while.
Oh no.
I've wanted to articulate this. I think that bitter tasting things get an extremely bad rap in our society. And I'll go even further. I'll say in our Western society. I think that the flavor of bitterness, all right, is so often portrayed in a negative light. And we really try to avoid things that are bitter tasting. But it is an important part of the culinary experience. And I think it has to do with the way our culture, our modern Western culture, like treats bitter foods. Like there are things to be avoided. Like you don't want for example, you don't want your coffee to taste too bitter. Like you know, chocolate to be too bitter. But I think that I happen to really like bitter tasting things. To me, the bitter, the better. Okay. Um, and bitter tasting food can be really beneficial. It can be a part of it's part of the cooking experience that we don't really appreciate enough, I think, in today's society. So I would choose bitter here just because, your dark chocolate is bitter and I think it tastes great. Sometimes really dark coffee can taste bitter and I think it tastes great. When things taste too sweet, though, sometimes they start tasting like just straight up sugar, like you're just eating right sugar. And bitterness, I think you get more of like variety, more natural elements. Is it like chocolatey bitter or is it like vegetable bitter? Are you eating like a bitter tasting herb? Or is it like a bitter tasting cocoa bean? Like kind of very different tastes right there. It's almost like it's like bitter as a palette or as a spectrum would be like a wider range of colors.
What?
And sweet would just kind of be like just yellow.
Where are you? Where are you? You had me. I was on the train for a while, and then you kind of just veered off the tracks. And
This is real talk right
this
here.
is deep stuff.
This is real.
Yeah, Matt, I'm gonna surprise a lot of people out there. Okay, and I'm going to agree with you. And I'm going to say I agree that bitter does not get the justice it deserves. But I would disagree and say I think sour has a worse reputation than bitter. Because I think people value bitter, but I not enough, but I think some people do, and people do eat bitter things. But I think sour as a whole is generally indicative of bad. Bitter is like special. Sour is bad. Milk goes sour. Things go sour. We don't like sour things.
I disagree. I think we do like sour things. I mean, like people eat citrus fruits. Citrus fruits have a sour taste, like oranges and, well, not so much oranges, but mainly like lemons and things like that. People like lemon in their water. People like zest.
But by the time but hang on though, no one's sucking on a lemon.
No bitter candy except for the dark chocolate.
Oh,
which is a very rare.
Oh my God!
Indulgence.
They need to make umami Patch Kids. That's a legit idea. Yes. Write that down.
Umami Patch Kids. Yeah. They taste like mushrooms.
That's candy. Awful. Oh God, that sounds like one of those weird Japanese snacks nobody can really explain.
I'm sure that the Japanese have like an entire aisle of umami flavored candies.
Oh, I bet. Wow. Very deep stuff.
But yeah, bitter is very, I think bitter's very it's very, very underrated, underrepresented.
It could be used more.
Sweet is so overrepresented.
Yep.
In today's world.
I agree. Thanks, high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
Bringing sweetness.
I think that might be where everything kind of changed. The introduction of like highly processed foods.
Oh boy. Maybe for the book club selection, I'll make us read Fast Food Nation, and we'll get really bummed out about food.
I've seen that documentary too many times.
I know. Super Size Me. That's a great one. Poor Morgan Spurlock. Think of how you would look if you ate a year of Taco Bell.
Oh,
that would fuck you up. Matt,
yeah, maybe I need to do that one.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
And we're gonna stay. We'll stay on the trend of food because I think it's worked well for us so far. We like talking about food on the show. I don't think we've done this one. Tell me if we have. Matt, cake or pie?
Cake. That was too easy. I don't know why I even thought about it.
Was it though? Was it
easily cake?
No.
I have no idea why it took so long to think about that one, but it's definitely cake.
You're wrong. You're so wrong. Yeah. No, it's pie.
No, it's definitely cake.
No, for sure.
No crust. Crust sucks. It sucks.
Oh, hang on.
Crust is the worst part of the cake. The only exception, there are two, is when the crust is made out of Oreo or when the crust is made out of graham cracker.
Okay.
Other than that, the crust is complete trash. It shouldn't even be there. You should just eat the filling. You should just eat the filling right out of the cake.
Look, if you're eating that Pillsbury pre-made crust bullshit, yeah, I agree. No, good crust is fantastic. Also, graham and Oreo are the best kinds of crust, but regular crust is great too. The problem with cake, what is the best part of cake? The frosting. The cake part's the shitty part. The cake part's the shitty part.
So false. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Nobody wants the cake.
Good part.
Nobody wants the cake.
Yes, I want cake. Give me the cake.
A great high school teacher of mine actually once said a very bright thing. He said, cake is merely a vehicle for frosting. And it is. We would just eat the frosting out of a jar if it were socially acceptable, but we don't because that would be crazy. We need the cake there for that. The great thing about pie is the whole pie is good.
Sugar. That's all frosting is sugar. It's just sugar.
And that's why people like it.
Cake.
But that's what I'm saying. It's crap. And the great thing about pie is a pie can be anything. A pie could be a fruit. It could be a cream. It could be sweet. It could be sour. It could be chocolate. It could be vanilla. It could be anything you want it to be. Cake is just cake. There's nothing to it.
Yeah. But cake is amazing.
No, cake is good.
Could be a chocolate cake.
Pie is better.
It could be a red velvet cake. It could be a cheese cake. It could be a
carrot cake.
It could be an Oreo cake. It could be a peanut butter cake. It could be a bundt cake. It could be a coffee cake.
An angel food cake.
Angel food cake. There's just or an angel food cake or a devil's food cake.
Yeah, but also, great thing about pies, Savory pies. Meat pies.
Cupcake.
That's not a cake. That's
It's a cake.
No, it's a glorified muffin. It's not. We had this
Cake.
discussion before.
No,
We're
it
not
counts
doing
as
it
a
again.
cake.
It's not a cake.
It's cake. It's made with the same that you would go about making a cake and a cupcake the exact same way, except you pour the batter into a cup versus not. It's the same exact.
Yeah, I wouldn't,
thing.
Matt. I wouldn't pour the ingredients of a cake into the gas tank of my car and still call it a cake.
Yeah, it's still a cake.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I guess we're just gonna have to disagree on this one because
savory pies and meat pies, I feel like should not even fall in this category because, like, that's not even fair. It's not fair to put them in this.
How's that not fair?
Not fair to do that because we're comparing cake with pies. That would be like saying
we'll go and invent a savory cake.
Burger is a pizza burger. Like,
well, first of all, that does make sense. A pizza burger is a type of burger. You take a burger, you put some mozzarella, a little marinara, boom, you got a pizza burger. But that's anyway.
That's like saying my favorite sandwich is a hot dog. Is a hot dog a sandwich? We've had this debate before.
A meat pie is a pie. It's got pie right in the name. Hot dogs used to be called Frankfurter sandwiches. So, I mean, I got some holes in your argument here.
I don't think they were ever called Frankfurter sandwiches. I think they were Frankfurters.
Oh no, they were definitely. All right, this is gonna get Googled because I know for a fact that they were called Frankfurter.
Pull it up.
Frankfurter sandwiches. Frankfurter sandwiches. Oh, there's a song about Frankfurter sandwiches. I'm gonna play this. You can't hear it, so sorry, but I think I've heard this. They sing. Hang on. Oh, it was an old. It was an old song in the 50s about hot dogs called Frankfurter sandwiches. Yeah, they were definitely called Frankfurter sandwiches. 1920s slang for a hot dog.
Fake news.
Okay. Very good. Matt, you want another this or that?
Yep, give me another this or that, because I think that was a good one. We actually disagreed, even though I think I had a better argument.
Well, then let's see if we can well, you're wrong, but let's see if we can disagree on another one. Matt, beers or beards? Which is the lamer hipster hobby? Craft beers or growing beards?
Craft beer is lamer. Craft beer is way lamer than beards.
And why is that?
Beards are cool. Beards are super cool. All right? You can style beards in a million different ways. All right?
No, you can't. There is a finite amount of ways you can style a beard.
There are lots of different ways you can style beards, and beards are just really cool and timeless. All right? They're timeless. They go all the way back to the beginning of time.
Yeah, it's been done. It's all been done. It's all been done.
Beers are cool. Craft beers, not really that cool. I can drink like Bud Light. If I had gone my entire life without ever tasting a craft beer, I don't think I would really have. It wouldn't really impact me that much. Craft beers are okay. Beer isn't even that great. Wine is better, and like a lot of other things are better than craft beer.
Like beards.
Like beards.
You're wrong.
Okay.
Wrong answer. Wrong answer. Here is why. Beards, in a hipster way, because you don't really, I would argue, Matt, you don't have a beard. You don't have the length for a beard. You got, I don't know what you call
a goatee.
that. Goatee.
This
sure.
would be a big goatee. Yeah.
A massive goatee. You don't have a beard. The thing
a
about
beard is kind of all over your face.
You need length. You need length for the beard, right? Beards are gross. They are disgusting and unclean, and I do not care for them. And they put all kinds of oils and weird things in the beard, and then they style them and think, "Oh, look at me! I'm everyone stare at my big fancy beard." The thing about craft beers is everyone can like a craft beard. Not everyone. What about 50% of the population who are women? They can't grow beards, I don't think. And so, but they can enjoy beers. We all enjoy beers. That's what's great about beer. And yes, I agree, they overdo craft beers. It gets a little much with the triple IPA, small batch, it's overdone. I agree. But at least at the end of the day, it's a cool beer. You can hang around. Everyone can enjoy it. The thing about beards is they're weird and they're kind of gross, and I don't like them, as you can tell. In fact, I need to shave. I'm overgrown, if you can't tell. So
Yeah, I can see that. You have a quite the beard going on there. It's almost like
yeah,
this one
we
right here.
basically look the same.
Yeah, this is. We should just rename this up for growing beards.
Up for growing beards.
Yeah.
I
I
like
think that you like that one.
No, I just
Up for
like the
growing
idea
beards?
that there's a show where they never actually grow the beards. They're just up for growing beards. Where all they do is talk
Yeah.
about growing beards, but they never actually do
Someday.
it.
Someday. Yeah. Growing a beard is really cool, and I think the fact that only men can do it makes it even cooler because it's kind of like it's our own thing. All right, like you know, there's. I'm trying to think of like a only woman's cool thing.
Breastfeeding?
Yes, growing beards is like our breastfeeding.
Be-
All right, something cool that only we can do, and we have monopoly on it. It's really neat. We don't get a lot
Babies
of
can't do it.
It's pretty much growing beards and peeing standing up. So those are cool.
I don't think we're being offensive, but if we are, let me proactively apologize.
We got to go with beards.
Okay, we do need to leave it there. All right, man. How about another one?
All right. Gardening.
Yeah.
Gardening or arts and crafts.
Like as a hobby?
Yes.
Arts and crafts.
Like crafting.
Yeah,
Crafting things.
Yep.
I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say gardening.
Wrong answer. God,
I want to hear your argument about
you're so
crafts,
far
though.
off. Well, two things. One, gardening is seasonal, and I understand it's where you live. Some places in the South it's not, but most places in the United States it's seasonal, so it's not a year-round hobby. Two, things in your garden die. Your arts and crafts don't. They're forever. Boom.
Yeah, but you can't have a lot of the arts and crafts come from the garden. And
I would
nature.
say a small fraction of arts and crafts come from the garden.
Gardening is like man mastering nature, mastering his domain. That's what gardening is.
But is that what you look for in a hobby? Like, wow, I'm interested in a hobby. What can I dominate? I know nature. I'll get into gardening. Do you do that? Like, I want to dominate the post office. I'm going to collect stamps.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to find a hobby. Like, I'm going to conquer gravity. I'm getting into model rocketry. Like, that's pretty cool.
Take that, gravity.
That is the best way I've ever heard someone describe a hobby. So actually, that's a pretty good takeaway.
Yep.
Like, if you're not kicking ass with your hobby, it's a crappy hobby.
Yeah, I'm going to dominate my kitchen. I'm going to get into cooking.
That's right, my domain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's gardening is pretty cool. Gardening is badass. It's a hobby that I don't know if I'll ever be able to get into because I don't like getting hot and sweaty. And being out in the garden, you can get hot and sweaty. I always admire people that have really nice gardens, though, because it takes a lot.
Well, yeah.
It takes so much effort and luck, just straight up luck. Like sometimes you have really crappy luck and your garden sucks. But if you like really put your mind to it and work at it, I think your work really shines through with the garden.
I will say in defense of gardening, it is far more difficult than arts and crafts. Any schmuck, kids finger paint, any schmuck can do arts and crafts. Very few, I would argue, can do it very well, but anyone can attempt it. The thing about gardening is, even just to attempt it, you need a minimum amount of knowledge and effort. Like, I could just get a pen and a piece of paper and I'm doing arts and crafts. I wouldn't even know where to start when it comes to gardening. I had 2 plants when I lived in Houston. They lasted about 3 weeks, and then I completely killed them. So,
yeah,
that didn't go
well.
well.
Gardening is tough, but it is. I think it is really a worthwhile hobby to have. I mean, like if like the world were to go up in smoke, and you had an advanced knowledge of gardening, that'd be something that's super, super useful to our post-apocalyptic society.
Oh, I
It
don't
would
know.
probably shoot you glass.
Matt, I might disagree with that. I'm pretty sure our future post-apocalyptic society, the currency will run on macaroni glued to construction paper.
Mm-hmm.
It will be an arts and crafts based society, is what I'm betting on anyway. I hope I'm not wrong. That would be bad.
No, crafty stuff could probably come in handy too. I could see.
Well, because the wasteland's going to be so ugly that they're going to want
Yeah, you
people
gotta
to really,
decorate it.
put on some glitter glue and some googly eyes you can stick right on, the wasteland.
Everybody loves those googly
Got to turn that frown upside down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Matt, I got a question for you. And I agree the topic is a little broad, so we may narrow it down, but that's okay. Sports, Matt. Sports.
Oh, okay.
Are they better on TV or better in person?
Depends on the sport. I bet you could have seen that one coming.
I did. So
So depends on the sport.
So let's break it down. Baseball.
Yeah, easy. Baseball is better in person.
Wrong. Incorrect.
I think I almost got like a aneurysm.
you freaked out. You legit go watch the video version.
There's no way that you just said that baseball is better on television. It is not. It is so not better.
And Matt, do you know why though? Hang on. You got to hear my reasoning before you assume that I'm wrong. Give me a chance to explain myself.
If my nose just randomly starts bleeding, you'll know
his eyes just twitching.
Something inside of me.
All right. The reason why baseball is better on TV than in person is because I can turn it off and stop watching baseball because baseball's the worst. If you're at a baseball game, you kind of have to stay.
Your argument should not even count. Baseball, you're a hater of baseball.
I can mute it and go do something else.
You're a hater of baseball. If you're at the stadium, you could get up and leave the stadium.
I guess, but then you've gotten traffic and parking. No, actually, no. In all seriousness, I actually probably would agree with you. I think the atmosphere at baseball parks is a little more fun than other sports, and also because of the times of day the games are often played, and because it's an outdoor sport. I just think it is a better in-person experience than other sports. So I am going to agree with you, but I did have to get my dig in on baseball.
Baseball's great in person. It's all the aesthetics. It's the green grass, the blue sky, the sounds of the ball hitting the bat.
But I will say
it's the sounds of the field and the crowd it's just so great. There's something so unique and peaceful and amazing about it.
But I
make it turn like that. Okay, the clouds could come in and get stormy. It could get action-packed. Something crazy is about to happen on the field. The bases are loaded. Things are tense. That's what's great about baseball is that just that change that overtakes you.
Although I will say the worst part about baseball in person is the baseball. I have to say everything good about baseball in person doesn't really involve the game. And I get it's more about the experience of being there than actually being interested in the game.
I think that all depends on if you're a baseball fan or not, which clearly you're not very much a baseball
I'm biased.
fan. All right, but for those of us who are baseball fans, there's nothing else like it in the world. It's just
fair enough.
It's a great sport all around, but it is way better in person.
Fair enough.
Than on TV. With baseball, I think TV it's still pretty good. I'll confess that I more often than not when I watch a baseball game, I do other things. I'm either on my computer or reading a book while the game is on, or doing laundry, or doing something else. It's very much something that's going on in the background. There are, over 100 games a year. So, it's not like it's a rare thing. It's not like a weekly occurrence. So if you're, not tuned into every second, it's not a huge deal. It is a nice thing to have in the background, and I think it's very. I think of most major sports, it seems to have minimal interruptions. Well, at least regular interruptions that you like. When they're going to happen, and They're pretty normal, um, and not very lengthy.
Wait, did you just say
Like
baseball wasn't very lengthy?
no, the interruptions aren't very lengthy, like commercial breaks and
Oh,
things like that.
that's fair. Baseball games are very lengthy.
Of course, yeah. They can be some of the lengthiest games.
Miserable. But what about? I would say football is a TV sport.
Oh, purely a TV sport.
Uh,
That's like the antithesis. It's like the complete 180 from baseball.
well, especially because it's such a replay-heavy sport. Like if you're in person, forget about it.
I would never. I mean, I would go to a football game live and in person, but I don't ever. And I say this with all honesty, I don't ever see myself purchasing NFL tickets. I don't think I would ever do that.
But I will say college football, much more of an in-person sport than the NFL.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever go to an NFL game. Maybe a college game, but yeah, and that's just a different culture altogether.
Well, different crowds. I also think college football tends to be a little more because the rules it's a little more action heavy of a sport. You get a lot more long passes, a lot more plays that are more interesting to watch. I would say that basketball, I guess I could really go either way on. I
think basketball might be maybe a little bit better in person.
I'd agree with that.
Mm.
Yeah, hockey's an in-person sport, I would say. I think it's hard to watch it's hard to follow the puck on TV.
Hockey is very much an in-person sport.
Yeah.
Similar to baseball. It being at a hockey game and watching it on TV are almost two completely separate events, two completely separate experiences, really. Like, I think when you watch a baseball game at home, you still get a experience, but I would say a watered down experience of watching it at the stadium. Watching a hockey game at home on TV, you're getting a completely different and lesser experience for sure than watching a hockey game in person. Watching a hockey game in person is awesome. It's just awesome is the best way to describe it. Like, and it can be any team too. I've seen teams that I did not even give a shit about. Like, I don't really have a hockey team per se. At different points in my life, I've kind of been Islanders fan or a Devils fan.
Well, now you got to be a Capitals fan.
Yeah, or a Caps fan. I've kind of like switched between all of them. I was a San Jose Sharks fan for a really brief time, a couple years back. It was when I was a child and I had NHL 95 for the Super Nintendo, and I thought the San Jose Sharks had the most like badass logo because it had a shark on it.
Fair. The famous really Arctic animal, the shark.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So yeah, so I never really picked like a loyal team to like really follow and study and stay with. So I've been to Devils games. I've been to an Islanders game. I've been to a Black Knights of the Hudson Army game. Army. And no matter what game I've been to, though, the thing is, they really get you into it.
Mm.
Just being in the game, you could not care about a team at all, but guaranteed, as soon as the game starts, like you're screaming, you're standing up with everybody, you're yelling for every hit, for every shot on goal. I guarantee it. There's no way you can go to a hockey game and not be engaged at all. They do a really great job of getting people.
It's an exciting sport.
Yeah, totally.
Agreed.
Very exciting, very fast paced, very, very engaging.
But not on TV.
But really only engaging when you're in person.
Yeah.
If you're watching at home on TV, I think it kind of demands that you already have a lot of knowledge and passion going into it.
Well, simply being, and I guess this is true. I would say this is true in basketball, where the value placed in being able to see the whole court at all times, I think, is a huge advantage of seeing it in person. This is especially true in hockey. Following the puck is very hard on television. This has been a problem they've talked about forever, since hockey was first on television. And being able to see the entire rink ice, seeing the ice end to end where all the players are at all times, I think is something that gets lost on television. I think that's really important to getting a good grasp on how the game is going and what's really going on.
Yeah. They've always struggled with that. It seems like they've really tried to fix that in recent years. And I don't really know if there is a perfect solution. If it has to do with the camera angles or with the distance of the cameras, maybe they need to add more cameras.
The famous glowing puck experiment. Are you familiar with that one? When they did that back in the 90s?
No,
yeah, it was called Fox did it back when they had hockey coverage. They called it Fox Tracks. Yeah, you remember this?
Yep.
Where the puck used to glow blue, and then it had like a little like comet trail behind it. Fun fact: the way that actually worked, they actually would slice pucks in half, and they would put a little infrared receiver. And then all around the rink, they had a bunch of infrared transmitters, and then they would be able to triangulate where the puck was based on the signal, the IR signal. The problem is because the puck was cut in half and glued back together, they would often break. They went through like 30 of those pucks in a game, and it never really took off.
See, I just thought there was a guy in the studio that was just really, really good at following the puck, and he had like a little marker.
I bet today.
And he just kind of like colored it in blue and was just followed it everywhere.
I bet today they could do it a lot better than they did back then. I mean, back then they didn't even do the yellow lines on the football field, and that's all done with computers now. So
I think that would be super helpful, to be honest. I would like to see them bring that back. And that would make it a little bit better, but it's just the idea that you can't see the entire rink.
Yeah.
Just move so fast.
Yeah.
Being at the game is just so much different. I guess it's just because I think it has to do with the acoustics of ice. There's very, very great acoustics in an ice skating rink or a pavilion of hockey.
Yeah. I agree. All right, Matt, we're out of time. That's it. We're done with this or that round 3. Can you believe it? We did it.
We did it. We chose this, but mostly this.
Yeah, I think we chose a lot of this. Once in a while that. You and I agreed a lot, which is always fun for the fans.
Got a little bit of that in there.
A little bit. It's just squeeze a pinch of that. Yeah. We had decent balance. And we'll definitely, I'm sure in 6 months or a year, we'll do round 4. But that's going to wrap it up for this or that. As I teased at the open of the show, last week's episode was great. I also want to do a super early future tease. End of October, we're going to be doing the Winter Movie League. Is going to be coming up. We had so much fun. Phil, our summer winner, he's going to be getting his trophy. And we are going to, Matt, are you ready for a big unveiling? A public announcement for the first time?
I'm always ready. Always ready for an unveiling.
For the Winter League, we're moving to teams. Mind blown. We're moving to teams of 2 will compete. We're going to add a bunch of new players, and we're going to compete in teams of 2 for the grand prize. A whole new dynamic. People are going to have to work together before and strategizing on draft day. The team will share the money, so how they decide to do the bidding, it's going to be active, it's going to be exciting, and we're going to have some new fresh faces competing in the Winter League. We've got 30 awesome movies. We got some big ones coming out over the next few months. Like I said, late October, we'll talk about it plenty on the show. You can get excited for that coming up. That's our early tease, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, looking forward to it. We got a lot of good movies coming out. A lot of great things to bid on.
Well, over the last couple of years, we've talked about this. They're shifting more and more. The mainstream movies that used to be summer movies are now in the winter. Christmas is hot. March is hot. Late October, early November is hot now, where they used to be total dead spaces. So I think we're going to have a great slate. You get your Oscar contender mixed in there. I mean, we saw La La Land and Manchester by the Sea did really good things in the league last year. You have your breakout films. Winter, I think, is always harder than the summer because you never know what movies are going to hit. And you always have some, like we had Get Out last time. You get some of these surprises. It makes for a lot of fun. So keep your ears open for that. We'll have that in a future episode. But for now, we're done. We're going to be back next time with more great discussion. If you want more of the show, upfordebate.tv is our website. You can go there. I'm using my hands a lot. You can get every episode that we've ever done, the audio, the video. Just click on the archives. They're all there. As I mentioned, soundcloud.com/upfordebate has all the audio episodes, and you can search for Up for Debate on YouTube for the video. At Up for Debate TV on Twitter, or upfordebatetv@gmail.com is our email. We're going to wrap it up there. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. On behalf of Matt, this is Sean. Hopefully we'll see you next time for more great discussion here on Up for Debate.